Good evening and welcome to Insider News. Tonight, we shall bring you the role of traditional rulers, Ndionowu and Presidents General of communities and how they affect the growth of the communities. But this will come your way right after the hard news. My name is Maureen Stone Enijoke. Anambra State has officially commenced the transformation of the old government house into the permanent site for the Solution Innovation District SID. Spanning 12 to 13 hectares, the massive tech hub is being designed to rival the infrastructure and output of Silicon Valley, a significant shift in the state's urban landscape. According to Governor Chukwuma Soludo, who embarked on on-the-spot inspection, the ambitious project aligns with the administration's core philosophy of everything technology, technology everywhere. The governor stated that by centralizing innovation within a dedicated physical space, the government aims to integrate digital solutions into every facet of the local economy and governance, stating that construction is currently in its first phase with a high-intensity work schedule aimed at finishing initial structures within the next few weeks as assured by the contractors. Governor Soludo has scheduled a follow-up visit for the end of the month to monitor milestones, adding that his hands-on approach ensures that the project remains on track to meet its goal of providing a permanent home for the state's growing population of developers, engineers, and entrepreneurs. The rapid pace of development reflects the urgency of transitioning the state's digital ecosystem from its current temporary facilities to a world-class headquarters. The Deputy Speaker of the Anambra State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Chukwuma Okoye, has moved a motion on the floor of the House, urging the state government to establish agricultural innovation and development centers across the 3 senatorial districts of Anambra State. Chibuzo Obidike tells us more.
He said the centers would serve as a deliberate strategy to address food insecurity, rising youth unemployment, and the slow pace of rural economic development. The motion called on Governor Chukwuma Soludo to direct relevant ministries, departments, and agencies to commence the development of the centers as modern hubs to drive agricultural research, innovations, skills development, and agro-industrial expansion. According to the proposal, the Agricultural Innovation and Development centers will serve as critical platforms where farmers and young agripreneurs can access modern production techniques, improved seedlings, mechanized equipment, climate-smart farming methods, and digital agricultural solutions.
Government to commence the establishment of agricultural innovation and development centers across the 3 central zones of Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, whereas agriculture remains the backbone of Anambra State economy and a vital source of livelihood for the majority of the citizens.
The centers are further expected to provide training and advisory services in agribusiness management, storage, processing, packaging, and market process, while supporting value addition and reducing post-harvest losses that continue to deprive farmers of income. By bringing innovation, extension services, and processing facilities closer to farming communities, the initiative is designed to improve productivity, product quality, and the competitiveness of Anambra-grown produce in both local and regional markets.
Achala people in Oka North local government area of Anambra State have protested insecurity in their community farmlands, during which they called on the state government to withdraw the certificate of recognition given to the traditional ruler Igwe Ositadima Nwokedi over alleged misappropriation of security funds, involvement in encouraging touting, drug abuse, and cultism, among others, among the youths, as well as the alleged use of such elements to oppress members of the community, among other claims. The leader of the protesters who stormed the government house, Oka, to express their displeasure over the situation, Mr. Uchenna Nakwe, who doubles as the Vice President General of Achala, said community members are missing and that farmers are afraid to go to their farms due to insecurity. Others, including the Eza Achala, Mr. Ezewulu Madubeze, Youth Representative Nwafo Nwanekwe, and Women's Representative Mrs. Elizabeth Onwukobi, made further allegations against Igwe Nwokedi, including claims that he was never duly coronated and has been undermining the customs and traditions of the community. Addressing the protesters, the Permanent Secretary, Government House, Oka, Dr. Nwabufo Nwankwo, who noted that in a democracy, people are free to express grievances in line with extant laws, assured them that their complaints will be taken to the appropriate authorities for investigation and necessary action. When contacted, Igwe Nwakedi described the protesters' allegations against him as spurious and outlined the efforts he has continued to make to ensure security in Achala and sustain the fight against drug abuse and cultism among the youths in the community, regretting that he has been subjected to cyberbullying. Moving on, in the society, there exist caps of various types, sizes, and colors, but in Igbo land, red cap is reserved for certain categories of people. In this special report, ABS went round various towns in Anambra State to ascertain the significant role red cap plays in Igbo society. Correspondent Abuja filed the reports.
Speaking to the ABS at his country home, Nri, in Anocha local government area, a community leader and a director in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Chief Arthur Mbuba, who described various sizes of red caps as it concerns titles, maintained that wearing a red cap in Igbo land commands respect and dignity, adding that red cap in Igbo land signifies purity, light, and wisdom, which those that wear it must represent. Chief Mbuba, who is a member of the Nzenozo Society in Nri, called on Ohaneze Ndigbo and cultural proponents in Igbo land to synergize and work towards restoring the dignity of red cap to avoid its bastardization.
Adjudication of issues and the selection of red cap, it also signifies light because it is red. It also signifies life. So it is not just you are wearing cap for wearing sake, but you are bearing the cross of your people.
Contributing, an industrialist and a community leader in Isuofia Agwata local government area, Dr. Godwin Okafor, who described wearing red cap as mark of being responsible and cautioned people who are not qualified to wear it against doing such. Dr. Okafor, who described it as a taboo for non-chieftaincy title holder to put on red cap, disclosed that titled men in his Sofia community that violates rules guiding their title will be sanctioned.
Red cap is not just anybody that can go to the market and buy red cap. For instance, in our own town in Sofia, you put a red cap and want to be a chief. When you want to be a chief and you were putting red cap before, they will find you.
That was it on the hard news. We shall be taking a break, and Insider News will come up next. Stay with us. Welcome to Insider News proper. No man is an island. For this reason, the government creates various authorities to coexist and bring peace and development in various communities, each to have independent function, but all to work collectively for the growth of their communities. Ngozi Bileri of Insider News in this report traced the roles of traditional rulers, traditional prime ministers, and presidents general of communities in community development. Her report.
In Igbo land, communities exist with traditional rulers, traditional prime ministers, popularly called Onowus, and or the president generals. Like in Anambra State, all the 179 communities has traditional rulers, traditional prime ministers, and presidents general. As their name differs, so are their functions. In this special report, we shall bring you their functions and their roles according to their names in regards with growth and development of every community. No community can function effectively without local authorities. And when local authority is mentioned, what readily comes to mind are the traditional ruler, the traditional prime minister, and the president general. In Anambra State, every community accords respect to these authorities as duly constituted by the government of the day. Questions that may be on the minds of many include, why are there 3 different authorities in a community? Will this not lead to a conflict of interest? The good news, however, is that the Anambra State government has clearly drawn a line between the functions of a traditional ruler and those of a president general. This clarification was made by the Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Community Affairs, Chief Tony Collins Nwabuwanne.
Very simple one. The role of the traditional ruler, they are in charge of culture and tradition. Culture and tradition. While the president generals are in charge of the administration of the community. It's a very simple thing. Yeah, the only difference there is that in some communities, or we state government has adopted that in the area of chieftaincy title by the traditional rulers, yes, before you confer any title on anybody about that community, you must carry the town union along. You don't call somebody Eomeguku or Ezeego or anything of a community without that person being committed to that community. There must be something reasonable you have done for that community.
To further shed light on the matter, the traditional ruler of Umuawolo, Igwe Joel Egwonwu, and his Ezinifite Agwata counterpart, Igwe Bob Oji, explained their roles and responsibilities as traditional rulers.
I am the general overseer of whatever that is happening in my community. From development, infrastructure, education, health, and all that. These are the things that as the traditional rule, because my interest is for the good of my community. And why we are traditional rulers is to bring development, to bring peace, to bring unity, to bring love, oneness, so that the community will move forward. And that is the role we play. Ono stand for me. Either if I was indisposable, maybe if I'm not feeling well, he will stand for me for any meeting. He will summon meeting if there is any need. The one looking after their villages. So whenever there's issue in the community, he have to invite them with his own ESCO, elected ESCO. Then we discuss it. If it is the one that they will not handle, then they will notify the Igbe. The Igbe will tell the Igbe Council chairman and notify his traditional prime minister that we have to matter. I want to see all of you in my palace. And when they come, we have to tackle the issue.
In the course of this report, ABS also gathered that the traditional prime ministers, popularly known as Ndi-Onowu, have a distinct but specific function. This was explained by the Onowu worker, Chief Benjamin Okoye, who is also the president of Ndi-Onowu Anambra, and his Umuawolo counterpart, Professor Emma Ezenwaji.
The traditional the Igwe is in charge of everybody, both PG, both Onowu, the cabinet, everybody, it's of everybody. But below that, you have the cabinet. But what we do here is that there is no clear separation. Because if you have that clear separation, that is where you begin to have that problem between either the Onowu and Igwe or PG and Igwe. And that is why I say communities that are not doing it that way need to be educated, because we need to help the state government to move.
The king delegates functions to the traditional prime minister Onowu. But in absence of that, there's some basic function the Onowu performs naturally that doesn't need the approval of the king. I hope I'm understood. Yes, as I know, there's some natural function you perform as a result of that office of Onowu, traditionally, that doesn't need the approval of the king.
While it is the duty of traditional rulers to protect and preserve the customs, tradition and culture of their communities, the presidents general are charged with the day-to-day administration of the communities.
The first role of every PG is development. Our job is to attract development to our communities. That's the major job of every PG. Then we have some other administrative roles, because where there is peace is where there will be development. So as a PG, you make sure you unite every quarter. Every quarter, you are like a father. Despite the fact that we have Igwes, but the PG is always on the ground, you know, where the people, the community meets at every point in time, you know. So your duty is to make sure there is peace in your community. When there is peace, there will be development.
As a PG, the job always is very simple. Maintain law and order, ensure there is security, make sure there is peace in the community. And when we have government in your community, it is our duty, okay, primarily to make sure that it gets to the community and it is used judiciously. Then on our own too, we do that through our brothers who are philanthropists, who are willing to help the community. Okay, so it's very simple. Galvanize the community, make sure the community is doing well, security is there, peace is there, unity and of purpose, and of course progress, because where there is peace, there is unity, and progress abounds.
For these responsibilities to be effectively carried out, there must be synergy among all constituted authorities for the community to move forward.
Bring love, oneness, so that the community will move forward. And that is the role we play. The Onowu, the traditional prime minister, the president general, all of them, we work together for the good of our community. Because it is written that united we stand, divided we fall. So every hands have to be on deck in every area.
Job of traditional ruler, to be honest with you, because they have their duties, we have their. We are two separate entities, okay? We are purely to develop the town, and as the government of Anambra State designed it, okay, we are the chief administrators of the community, the PGs, okay? Of course, I am the chief administrator of Idani, and of course, the chief security officer of the community. Okay, so that is why when I started talking, I talked about security and I talked about peace and other little progress and development of the community. So administratively, we are in charge. Security-wise, we are in charge. So for Ndigwe, of course, they are the cultural custodians of the community, but a major gaba into that because it is not my duty to talk about if Ndigwe. Okay, there is what we call separation of power, okay, and responsibilities. So they have theirs, we have ours.
PG is in charge of administration in every community, while the traditional ruler is in charge of custom and tradition. You understand? So, but both of them works hand in hand, and the PG is not expected to jump into the role of the Igwe. Igwe is not also expected to jump into the role of the PG, which is administration.
In all, no office is expected to encroach on the functions of another. What remains paramount is the growth, welfare, and peace of the community. Now that the roles of each authority have been clearly spelled out, all should operate within their defined responsibilities while carrying one another along with love and understanding, so that life will ultimately be better for all members of the community. I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS Insider News.
That you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service at www.absradiotv.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at ABS Radio Television. Follow us on our social media handles at ABS Radio Television on Facebook, at ABS Radio TV, and at ABS Radio TV on X. And that does it on Insider News for tonight. Thank you so very much for watching. My name is Maureen Stone Enujoke. Good night and stay blessed.